Here comes the scams. Let's see what this is going to be. Now, there's been a lot of scam MMOs that have come out. I don't know if you guys can think of any of them. There have been a number of scams. And we'll have to see exactly what this is.
In 1890, the charming and charismatic George C. Parker was sitting in a Brooklyn cafe, talking to a group of tourists. To the tourists' amazement, George actually owned the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow.
And due to falling on hard times, he was selling it. Quite cheaply, in fact. The tourists jumped on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and they bought the bridge. George,
bro, that must have been so good. Like, imagine being the first Nigerian prince. Nobody is ready for it. Like, you're like, yeah, I'm a prince in Africa. Just send me a bunch of money, and then I'll get you the money back. They're like, really? I'm like, yep, that's right. Like, okay, here you go. And there's, like, no context around it being bullshit, so you just get people to fucking believe it. Like, that makes me inspired. Instead of being a game developer, fuck that. We're watching a new video now. I'm inspired to be the next, what's the next big scam? Yeah, Bitcoin? Yeah, I thought people would say that.
Then go on to sell the Brooklyn Bridge several more times to several other groups of people over the years. He would also sell the Madison Square Gardens and the Statue of Liberty. He sold all these landmarks to various people despite not actually owning any of them. Then in 1920, Victor Lustig would tour the country with his amazing money-duplicating machine known as the Romanian box, which could make an identical copy of any value note you put in. He would demonstrate to people by placing...
Wait. What's with the guy's hair?
Which could make an...
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Same hair? It's not even close. Like, the back of my head isn't even like that at all. Look. Look, it's not even like that at all. Like, unironically, the back of my head is not balding. Like, it's the front that's the problem.
Identical copy of any value note you put in. He would demonstrate to people by placing a $100 bill inside, waiting 6 hours for the machine to work, and then receiving another identical 100.
Where do you buy these boxes? I want one of those.
Bank to prove they were real, and once people realized it was the real deal, he sold this box to the highest bidder, including at one point a Texas sheriff. The box itself, of course, only contained one real note and several fake notes. The 6-hour time working was given to allow him to escape after each sale. Then in 2009, the BBC TV show Hustle aired, following the fictional story of a group of confidence tricksters. The show was slick, sexy, and incredibly successful. It's also one of my personal favourite TV shows.
I've never heard of this.
It ran for 8 seasons. But now con men have moved on from selling bridges and money printing machines, and they aren't the debonair, suited and booted image you come to expect. They're greedy, they're manipulative, and they're taking money from naive, impressionable children, because con men are now exploring the world of MMORPG development. Ladies and...
Bro, this would actually be such a good fucking segment of my stream, going through crappy Kickstarters that are obvious scams, interviewing the people on them. Oh my god, dude. I really want to do that. That's so funny. I have to see these for myself. Because, like, what happens, though, like, if I find one and I think it sucks, but it turns out to be, like, the next big thing. iDubbbz did it. I know people have rated Kickstarters before. I know that.
Gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes. Con men, or confidence tricksters,
who would do
hold
that?
A special place in our collective social heart because they're presented as suave, sophisticated, sexy scamps, tricksters, tricking old billionaires out of their ill-gotten gains, the unscrupulous moguls, the Robin Hood types, if you will.
See, that's what they always think that they are. So in my opinion, right, I think that if you're gonna be a scammer, this is like, because, you know, I used to scam people out of shit all the time, right? Everybody knows that about me. So in my opinion, if you want to scam people, never, ever, ever pretend like you're not scamming them. That's where I think people lose the plot. If you're gonna be a piece of shit, say, you know what? I'm a piece of shit. That's it. If you ever start trying to rationalize it or whatever, that's whenever you just go off, you know, you go off the rails. Not admitting to it's part of the con. Well, you don't admit it to the people, right? But you just about it to yourself. Some people
unfortunately, the reality is often somewhat different. The romanticized Hollywood version of this greedy billionaire being swindled out of his ill-gotten gains by some cheeky...
It's some naive 15-year-old that wants to be able to play a cool new game. Like, that's all it is. Yeah, he's totally right. Yeah, what these guys do is, okay, so here's what they do. Basically, they have a lot of people, and some of the people that they're appealing to are kids, and then they use those kids to extract money from them because they're stupid and naive, right? And this can come in many different ways. It's like microtransactions, supporting a Kickstarter, gifting subs, pretty much buying CSGO skins. There's a million different ways that people... Because the reason why you want to take advantage of kids, right? The reason why you want to fucking scam kids is because they're stupid. So the reason that these guys do this is if you can make a game, you're automatically appealing to kids, and kids are stupid. So... you take advantage of the stupid kid, you get the kid to use his mom's credit card, and then you take the kid's money, and that's all there is to it. It's done. Did I leak the script? But there it is.
Young chap, and then that money distributed to the needy, that is often replaced with tricking naive or impressionable young children.
Yes.
Or swindling the elderly or the vulnerable out of their money. Preying on desperate people. If you've been following the Dreamworld fiasco on...
We'll watch that afterwards. And I want to say, there are a lot of people who are... They're not 90 years old. They're not 9 years old. They're 29 years old, and they're dumb as a rock. Basically, like, imagine somebody with, like, the same intelligence level as a walrus. So you have a... It's like, imagine how easy it would be to trick a walrus into doing something. And these are the people, right? These are the people that they're going for.
Multiple YouTube channels, you'll be aware of exactly what scam MMOs look like, aware of how wild the boasts are, and how unsubstantiated the claims of what they can actually do are, and you may consider yourself a rather intelligent, wise individual who wouldn't fall for such obvious, blatant scams, but they're not aiming at you. They don't...
Very, very good point. And here's another good point. Here, if you're scamming people, I'll give you a little bit of advice here. Probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this. Create a tell. Create a tell that filters out intelligent people from your initial pitch. Because smart people will, even if you trick them in the first time, they will catch the scam before you get their money or before you get their stuff. So a good example of this is a lot of the Nigerian prince emails and a lot of scam emails intentionally use bad grammar, and they intentionally use wrong punctuation and things incorrectly. And the reason why they do that is that way all of the fish that they still catch, even with those things that are wrong, those are the largest of the whales. Those are the biggest of the Dumbos. And if you do that and you cast a wide enough net, the fish you're going to catch there are going to be big, dumb, and fat. So you create a tell. It's not an MLM. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, that's a good one, right? And so if you want to get people into your Juice Cleanse MLM, tell people it's not an MLM. And even explain things in a way that they could draw a triangle around the power structure. But if they don't do that, they're so dumb, you're going to be able to make a ton of money off of them. So put it right in front of them and make sure they can't see it. Because if they can't see it, here's the other thing, is that once people will commit to something that they feel like they're getting scammed out of, even if they know they think that they're getting scammed out of it, because they don't want to insult their own intelligence to think that they got scammed in the first place. So they'll follow through with it. Like, imagine subscribing to a game for 15 years when it started sucking 10 years ago.
Need to trick you. You're too hard to trick. They're trying to trick the people who don't know any better yet. And
the
that's
Dumbos.
The problem.
There's a sucker born every minute.
These projects are designed to bypass your logic centers, your intelligence, and go straight to your emotional core, to pull on your heartstrings and to part you from your money by manipulating you, not by promising an actual viable service. And over the last few years,
Furcadia. Wait, what the fuck is that? Furcadia is the premier social MMO, and it has a cat with wings on it? What the fuck is that supposed to be? Created from players' dreams? I'm pretty sure it's created from players' wet dreams. What the fuck is that? That's disgusting.
MMOs claiming to be all things to all men to fill a need that you so desperately have. So,
yes,
let's take a look at these scam MMORPGs, work out how you can spot the scams, work out why they're trying to scam you, and then hopefully you can help protect other people. Let's examine the strange world of the Scam MMO. Before we dive into this strange world, consider dropping a like on the video or subscribing to the channel for more MMO stuff, and ring the bell so you get all the future notifications. A huge thank you to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch.
He's got
keep
so many
the channel going. More on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. When looking at questionable projects, it's very important to remember Hanlon's razor, which is never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. Basically, that means if
I agree with this, except for whenever it benefits somebody. If somebody is inadvertently benefiting from something, then I assume they're doing it on purpose. If they're not benefiting from it, then I do not assume they're doing it on purpose. That's the difference for me personally.
Something seems stupid or straight up too good to be true, it
probably
doesn't mean the person doing it is an evil genius. They're much more likely to simply be
delusional,
an idiot, or completely unaware of the complexity of what they're claiming they can do. If someone says, I'm going to do X, and they have no idea how difficult X is to do, don't assume they're trying to con you. Assume that they're just ignorant of the true difficulty of what they're claiming it is they can do. But with that,
I think that's a good point. I agree with that. It's like if I finish the fucking Unreal Engine video and I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna make an MMO. It's like, yeah, okay, guys, all right, man, yeah, sure, go for it, man.
Remembered, these game projects are different because they are all being created by people with claimed experience in the design arena. People who claim a level of authority. People who tell you to trust them. These projects aren't just ambitious amateurs unaware of reality. They are claimed experts telling you they can straight up do the impossible. Conman, or confidence trickster, is someone who achieves a goal through trickery and deception, sells you a product that doesn't exist, or gains from you and not repays the debt. They've been around for years, but it's only recently the old conman tactics have started to push into the MMO design world. So let's take a quick look at how they work before we look at how they're using MMOs specifically to make money. Conmen rely on three things to achieve their goal: abusing the extremes of human emotion, fear of missing out, and pressure to make a decision now, and the absolute unwavering confidence.
Yeah, here's the thing. Is it especially the second one? Creating a sense of urgency is a great way to make a sale. And you can create a sense of urgency by being like, you can have it right now, or it's only available right now. And you can even do both. It's a very common car salesman tactic, and I used to use it a lot myself when I would sell stuff too.
That they should be trusted. The first is emotion.
Yes.
You sell something by choosing an emotion, enhancing it,
nostalgia,
and then using it. If you want to sell someone the Brooklyn Bridge, you appeal to their sense of wonder, their sense of power, to controlling a historic landmark, how respected they will be, how
you're going to walk everywhere with a bow tie.
Revered. You appeal to their desire to be
you walk
known.
With a cane.
If you're selling a money box, you play up to their greed, their desire for more, the lust for wealth. If you're cold calling people, pretending to be from revenue and taxes and demanding payment, you play up to their fear, threatening to throw them in jail for not paying, to bankrupt them, to make them homeless. If you're starting a collective and you want people to join you, you provide community, friendship, acceptance, belonging, a place to feel important. You provide the situation that will remove their intense loneliness. Cons work.
You basically get people to let their guard down. That's what it is. You let people to let their guard down, however it is, right? And the way you do that is telling people what they want to hear. And the way that you find out what somebody wants to hear, this is like if you're trying to make a sale. Half of this video is going to just be me giving my own advice on how to scam people. That's why, like, in a lot of really good salesmen will get you to just talk to them at the beginning so they can discern from that conversation which emotion to appeal to. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know, let the person give you the direction that they're trying to go in. Now, obviously, if you're putting an ad out, you have to kind of, have like a predetermined idea of it, but still, that's the idea. It's qualifying someone? Yeah. I don't really know about terms, right? It's what it is. Actually true? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
by finding the emotion that drives the individual person and then applying pressure to it until that person will do anything that you ask them to do to make the pressure stop. They want what you are selling. Once the person being conned is interested, they're known as the mark. Now you've got your mark, you apply a time limit. You want to sell the bridge, but you're going away next week.
Yes.
You can sell the money box, but you're moving tomorrow. You need them to pay the agreed tax amount within 6 hours or they're going to jail. The less time someone has to think about their decision, the less likely they are to think logically, ask friends or family about it, or research into the con man's past and figure out it's probably a scam. You don't want people using logic or sense. You want them to make a choice based off pure emotion. The emotion you've already established they are the most driven by.
There's also an emotion on a personal level. One thing that's really good to sell by is instant gratification. Like, and it's actually less of a manipulative thing, but like if you can tell people you can have it now, that is actually a huge value add for tons of people. Yeah, like the fucking instant gratification, like we can do this for you right now. Like a pre-order, a boost, all that other kind of shit, right? Instant experience boost, there's tons of examples.
Greed, fear, anger, revenge, lust, power, a desire for belonging, a family or a fetish. You want them to make base animal instinct choices and you want them to make them quickly. And you do
Don't
all
think
of
about
this
it.
with confidence,
just subscribe to my
charisma,
OnlyFans.
and the absolute unfaltering belief that you are completely correct and you are to be trusted.
Yes.
Since people have had stuff, other people have found ways of taking that stuff from them, either through force or through coercion. And now it's through emotional manipulation of the conmen.
Absolutely.
MMORPG players, when compared to a general cross-section of the general population, have been studied and discovered to have higher than average levels of addictive personality. The casual MMORPG player wants a place to belong, a community to be part of. They want an experience to have. The hardcore MMORPG player wants a second life, effectively. And all MMORPG players want to have a connection and a commitment to their character, and they ideally want to be the early adopter to the next big Magic game. If the next massive
and this same thing, like that same emotional draw, is what gets people to like, oh, new crypto's out, new crypto, it could be the next Bitcoin, and people put money into it because they're like, well, hey, it's only $1,000. What if I had put $1,000 into Bitcoin back then? I'd be a millionaire. That's what it is. Yeah, FOMO, exactly. And like this is sold in other games, like, and there's all kinds of different levels and degrees of this. So you have, I think the best example of this is pre-orders, right? Pre-orders are a socially acceptable level of FOMO that companies use to take advantage of people and make them make decisions that are not necessarily in their best interest. What's FOMO? Sorry, fear of missing out. So that means that if you don't get it now, it's going to go away forever, or you're getting this opportunity to get in on the ground floor, right? If you ever heard like an MLM speech about this or a pitch about this, usually you see that language, get in on the ground floor, something like that, and you can be one of the first people to establish it, right? FOMO, these nuts. Okay, dude. All right, let's keep going.
Your MMO comes out, every player wants to be there on day one. And this is what every single Kickstarter MMO promises to be. These traits have been exploited by the gaming world for years with subscriptions or microtransactions or pay-to-win systems or limited time sales. But now the con men are taking notice. They're realizing the MMORPG gamer is an absolute ripe target for emotional manipulation.
We are whales. We are whales. We are whales. We are beaten down whales that have been taken advantage of for the past 10 years. And it's just sad. It's honestly just sad because so many MMO players just want a good game that they will accept so many bad things in a game just for the chance that it won't actually suck a big fat fucking dick.
Let me show you how they do it. Opening Kickstarter and searching for MMO brings up an eclectic mix of results, from legitimate projects that actually got made, to ambitious but ultimately doomed ideas, to absolute shovelware garbage. But when you go through and read what they promise, take note of how much is just straight up emotional manipulation and how much is impossible to achieve. Let's look at the emotional strings they pull, the way they use fear of missing out, and the lengths they go to convince you They can be trusted. Here's a game called The Fifth Prophecy. It's going to be an MMO sequel to the Forthcoming series, which is in itself an isometric MMORPG available on Steam. The project leader is looking for $8,717 to make an entire MMO, which for anyone unsure is about enough money to employ a highly skilled developer for about a month.
Yeah, I don't think $8,000 is going to be enough to make the game. I feel like it's probably a little bit short. Maybe you need to get up to like 9 or 10, at least.
Only comment, which is now deleted, is asking if they actually have permission to make a sequel to The Forthcoming. The comment is not answered, and the commenter has since removed their pledge.
Yeah,
the description
I wonder why.
contains the lines, "I am a programmer analyst for 15 years. This is the trust me statement.
Yeah.
15 years sounds
Qualifying
impressive,
statement.
despite the fact that has no actual relation to game design. Then you've got the line, "My autistic son pushed me to make a sequel," an appeal to the emotion of parents with autistic children or anyone on the autism spectrum. It has no relevance to game design. It's a manipulation technique to make you react emotionally to the pitch and immediately think it's a positive thing to support. Further down, he writes,
genuine.
"We respect copyright. We do not use any material from the forthcoming games. The game will be totally different, despite the fact the first writing on top of this Kickstarter page is a sequel to the forthcoming games." In the
it's like, at least you could use like the word spiritual successor or something like that that's really ambiguous, but no. But no, it's not what it is.
Risks and challenges bit, he adds, "Thanks to my obstinacy and positivism, I will overcome the trials." This is another trust me sentence with no proof he has the ability to do this. The long-lasting design section then says, "If the enthusiasm of people is as strong as the original game, it will last for many years."
So
this
people
appeals
feel like
to a sense of belonging and community, while simultaneously placing the responsibility for the game's lifespan on the players instead of the developers.
That's one thing that I think a lot of MMO players are really, they're really, what's the word for it? They're very sensitive to, is players don't want to get involved with a dying game. That's why having an MMO be considered as dying is a bad thing. Because whenever people believe that they're playing a dying game, then the value of their accomplishments is not as important. It doesn't matter as much. And that's why people that's why I think WoW stopped doing the sub number counts. It's because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once people feel like people are quitting the game, then people actually start quitting the game. And then whenever people actually start quitting the game, then more people feel like they're quitting the game, and then more people quit the game, right? It's like it's self-aggravating, or whatever you want to call it.
Project so far has 3 backers and has raised $176.
Domino effect, snowball, whatever you
Another
want to say.
project, Face of Mankind, Fall of the Dominion. Let's skip to 4
I'm sorry, but if anybody fucking pledges any money to this game, I'm looking at literally one picture. Just take your 20 and light it on fire. Just take the Benjamin and light that bitch up, because it's honestly the same thing. Look at that. Like what do you like? You see a game that looks like this. What is the best case scenario? You ever wonder about that? Like, what is the best case scenario for a game that has the same graphics quality as Lord of the Rings Online? This is like Nintendo 64, the MMO.
It's into the trailer and enjoy the sob story, complete with sad music.
After around 18 months, they shut down the servers and canceled the contract. After that, I tried to get the game back on its feet on my own. I called it Face of Mankind Rebirth. Well, 6 months later, I had to realize that not only I have burned out, but my finances as well. So it was rather painful to finally declare that I had to cancel the development.
Yeah, how convenient.
That is just an extreme appeal to emotion using one man.
He didn't have a dying dog. To be fair, he really wasn't trying. Like, if he didn't leave the company because his dog was dying, I mean, is he really trying to actually sell the product? No. $60,000. That's a $60,000 vacation.
And sadness. The next few videos are a technology teaser and a pitch video, both hosted on YouTube and both now unavailable. Look at the bullet points below. No grinding, no classes, player-driven economy, open PvP, persistent universe. And they finish with No argument or friendship will ever go unheard. This is both an appeal to community and
What does that
belonging
even mean?
and also completely untrue. Imagine if every argument that ever happened in an MMO actually impacted the world. The world would be a mess with
Yeah, it's like I ninja looted that mace. Remember I ninja looted the mace from Cruel? And somehow now, there's a wolf that was going to spawn, but now he doesn't spawn anymore because Asmongold committed evil, and evil destroys life. And there's no longer 37 wolves in Hinterlands. There's now 36. I have impacted the world in a terrible way.
5 minutes. And if you pledge just $10,000, you can design a unique, one-of-a-kind character just for you. Custom armor, custom hat, custom weapon, and a custom icon so players know you're custom. This is just hunting for narcissists.
They did this, to be fair, though. Path of Exile did this, too. They delivered, though. That's the thing, right? Is like, they delivered in the game. I'm not a fan of having player inserts in video games. Like that's my opinion. I'm not a fan of having player inserts for people, especially that donate money, etc. Like, look at the Hall of Grandmasters in Path of Exile. Like, if anything, if you're like, man, I'm really so addicted to this game, I want to find a way to quit the game, go buy a Hall of Grandmasters map and run that a few times, and then you can just move on. And so there's totally, like, a lot of precedent for things like this being bad, but they're not fun. This one is not fundamentally bad, but he is right. He is right. Josh is right. This does absolutely appeal to narcissism. Because people that are narcissists are the ones that are going to spend $10,000 to be recognized. Of course.
You will even be listed as an executive producer in the game's credits, and they will invite you to a paintball event with them and then a relaxed dinner. I'm not making this up, it's actually a backer reward. The estimated delivery date of this backer reward was 2014, and the game hit its goals. So
I don't even know what to say.
surely the game got made. Well, this change.org petition titled Removal of Face of Mankind Fall of the Dominion on Steam seems to suggest it did get put on Steam, and the promised faction system was monetized beyond belief, and in the comments we even see someone commented, #Kickstarter fraud. Here's another MMO, Global Adventures, last updated in 2017. It got funded for just under $2,000, which actually far surpassed its ambitious, lofty goal of $200.
Now it's Canadian money too, so it's actually only about $6 in USD.
$122 to make an MMO. The game says your life will get turned upside down as you hunt for hidden treasures and fight zombies, vampires, and ninjas. The graphic even says it is fair to play, never pay to win. You cannot gain gameplay advantage by spending real money. That was a key.
Bro, this looks like, look at the font, man. The font is like, whenever you're like 14 and you have to do like a graphics design project and you're edgy and you listen to 3 Days Grace and you fucking go to Google and you're like, cool badass fonts, and you click on the first search option and it takes you to a font. Well, guess what? This is that font. This is Comic Sans for edgy kids.
Element of the Kickstarter campaign. Remember this. Scrolling down, we get to see even more backer rewards, with the warning the exclusive items shown in the soldier tier and above will only be available via this campaign. Fear of missing out kicks in now. And if you pledge $750, you'll get your face on a wanted poster in every main town. And further down, they explain the Kickstarter campaign.
Dude, like, what if the guy's ugly, though? What if they're like, submit a picture and the guy submits a picture of his dick? What if they're like, okay, all right, here's the wanted poster. And then they're like, all right, what picture do you want to use? Like, here's a picture of my dick. You know what I mean? Like, what do they do?
Saying 12% of the Kickstarter proceeds will go to making an anime series. 12% of the $2,000 they raised. They are going to make an anime series with just over $200. But even further down, they actually explain why $222 was the goal, stating the Kickstarter is actually just to gauge interest, and don't worry, because $222 is actually only about 0.01% of their already established total budget.
I bet
this means the total budget is $2.2 million, and the investors have already agreed to give them this. They just needed a Kickstarter to show that they were serious.
Wait, this is a Nigerian Prince MMO. That's actually a Nigerian Prince MMO. Are you kidding me? And people gave them money? Oh my god. It's so sad. Dude, all they need to raise, man, is we just need to get $222. And if we can get $222, we have a venture capitalist firm that's willing to give us $2 million. But we have to raise $200 and change. We have to hit that 200 mark, guys. If we don't hit the 200 mark, we're not going to get the 2 million. It's all out the window.
Game launched on Steam, has mostly negative reviews, and the
why.
latest comments let people know the servers were taken down more than a year ago,
Yeah.
and the other comments include choppy animations, completely unsynced audio, needlessly bad dialogue, 10
Needlessly
levels
bad.
of payable VIP, which create a pay-to-win system, paid mounts in the cash shop you can't get through playing the game, and
Oh, I don't know about that. That doesn't really worry me too much. But yeah, of course that's what it is. Yeah, of course that's what it is. Here's the thing, is like a lot of these MMOs, it's very hard to draw the line of what is ethical and what's acceptable in a lot of these games, because the reality is that a lot of these games are hard to make, and they're very difficult. They take a lot of effort and a lot of time, and because they take so much effort and because they take so much time, there's a lot of people that want to make that money back. I understand that. But at the same time, there is a point where if you compromise the integrity enough of your project in trying to fund it, then what is the point of having the project at all? You know what I mean? It's like, imagine, like a good example of this is what I've said about my stream, is that I say pretty much whatever I want to say on my stream, because I have my stream. My stream is, to an extent, a vehicle of self-expression. And if I can't express myself on my stream, then what is the point of doing the stream besides money, right? Why do it? Why do it if I can't do the thing that I do it to do?
energy fatigue system limiting how much you can play, and a comment from the publisher Suba Games, who also made Dream of Mirror Online, stating the development company Pixelsoft have stopped developing and have just sort of ran off. Tricking people is easy. Convincing them they've been tricked,
they took their $222 and they ran.
That's much harder. The con man will always be a career.
got it, man.
Morally grey people until the end of time. And the
I got you, bitch.
Is full of players that have extreme emotions that are remarkably easy to exploit. Full of players crying out for the next big MMORPG. You will have the narcissists that want their face on every poster in town. You will have the completionists that want to start a game on day one. You will have the lonely people that want to be members of a guild or running a guild. You will have every single type of player wanting something to fill an emotional void, and if you promise that, you'll have a lot of people willing to throw money at you and follow you with your brand new game.
Exactly.
The simple fact is, if you actually have the ability to produce and create the game that you're claiming to create, you don't need to use emotional manipulation. You won't need to promise the world. You won't need to say, trust me. You'll be able to show them proof. Here's an example. Is there tea or coffee in this mug? Neither. It's a Space Marine mug. Obviously it's full of Space Marines. That's a promise. Trust me. If it actually was full of Space Marines, I'd have proof of that. I'd be able to just show you. You wouldn't need to trust me. You'd be able to see the...
I'm waiting for him to pull out a fucking Space Marine miniature. I swear to God, if he pulls out a fucking Space Marine miniature out of that shit, I'm gonna get so mad. I'm gonna be so fucking mad, man.
But I was actually telling the truth, and that's the easy way to spot the con man from the actual experienced developer. The people with the real skill
it's not gonna do it. That's too bad.
Proof
been really funny
of what they claim they can do. Scammers and tricksters hate it when you talk to other people, because when you talk to other people, then you start to see between the cracks. Then you start to read between the lines, you get other people's opinions, and you realize this might not actually be legitimate. They impose a time limit. They push your emotional buttons, and then they say, don't miss out.
That's another tip for scamming people, is you want to isolate buyers. Don't let buyers talk to each other. That's always a good idea, because whenever buyers get a chance to talk to each other, they'll find the flaws in what you're doing. And so you want to make a sale as fast as you can, isolate buyers, and make it to where they're only in their own head. Noted. Hashtag Asmon tips. Yeah.
Trust me. When someone tells you to trust them without proof that they're trustable, that should raise all kinds of red flags.
That's a good... It's actually like a very... See, I fucking knew it, man. I fucking knew it, dude. Like, there's no way. Like, look at all the figurines behind him, man. There's no fucking way he didn't have any. I knew it, man. I fucking knew it.
Space Marines. You can be sure that YouTubers such as myself, Kira TV, Callum Upton, The Lazy Peon, MMO Byte, and Slopes Game Room are going to be keeping a close eye on all the upcoming MMORPG projects. From more famous ones like Ashes of Creation, Star Citizen, and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, to the absolute shovelware Kickstarter junk, and we'll work to help you see through the manipulation and make an informed choice, so you are not taken in by the next big scam.
You don't get goofed
It seems
on.
the age of the scammo is upon us, and it's up to all of us to analyze and scrutinize these projects so the naive or the vulnerable are protected.
The Dumbos.
Thanks for watching. Another great big thank you to all the supporters on
big
Patreon
old Dumbos.
and Twitch who keep the channel going. You can support the channel from only £1 a month, and you can check the video description to find links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, and our Discord channel. And as always, have a great day.
Yeah, that was a very, very good video. I like that video a lot. And it's really funny for me to see that, because a lot of these techniques and things like that, yeah, please link the video mods. If there's a mod that can link the video, please go ahead and do that. I'm driving. It's okay, man. Well, if you're driving, why are you typing if you're driving? I'll link the video on the other thing, okay? There, I'll do it myself.